What if I told you the smartest luxury car purchase you'll ever make happens after the warranty already expired? Sounds backwards, right? There's a 2010 Acura TL in Virginia sitting at 227,000 miles, original engine, original transmission, with annual repairs costing less than most people spend on coffee. And it still drives like the dealer just handed over the keys yesterday. Today, we're counting down 12 luxury cars that quietly become bargains the moment the warranty sticker stops mattering. Stick around because number one actually gets cheaper to own the older it gets. Let's start with the car that started all of this, the one currently sitting in that Virginia driveway. Number 12, Acura TL TLX 2009 to present. When Acura engineers designed the TL, they apparently forgot they were supposed to build a luxury car that justifies expensive dealership visits every 6 months. Instead, they somehow accidentally built what mechanics now affectionately call the most boring luxury car to work on, because the J35 and J37 V6 engines hiding underneath barely ever genuinely break in the first place, robbing entire dealership service departments of their reason for existing in the first place. One specific Virginia owner documented the proof directly on an enthusiast forum. 227,000 miles. Timing belt and water pump replaced precisely on schedule. Religious oil changes throughout, and no leaks, no oil consumption at the most recent valve inspection. The valve covers, he noted, still looked like brand new. RepairPal ranks Acura second among all 32 tracked brands for overall reliability, trailing only Honda itself. A genuinely embarrassing result for German manufacturers charging triple the maintenance bill for the exact same basic privilege of driving a sedan around. Annual repair costs settle around $501 a year, comfortably below the broader luxury segment average. Post-warranty TL ownership feels less like luxury car ownership and more like discovering a loophole nobody bothered telling you about. That same owner, 14 long years into ownership, admitted the only thing genuinely stopping him from upgrading was simple: I cannot justify the low trade-in price I have been offered. But Acura's quiet, almost boring reliability gets matched by a sister brand sharing the exact same mechanical bones under a flashier badge entirely. Number 11, Infiniti Q50, 2014 to present. Infiniti engineers building the Q50 apparently forgot they were supposed to design expensive problems into a luxury sedan. Instead, they accidentally borrowed the VQ37 and VR30 engine architecture directly from the Nissan 370Z sports car, giving a conservative four-door body the mechanical guts of something built to survive a racetrack rather than a school pickup line, which is a genuinely strange flex nobody asked for and everybody benefited from anyway. That shared DNA shows up directly in long-term ownership data. The same forum thread documenting the 227,000-mile TL included a direct comparison from an owner who'd switched brands entirely. Q50 has same engine as my 370Z. All other service is easy for self-maintainer, he wrote, treating mechanical simplicity like the deciding factor it genuinely was. Edmunds' 5-year true cost to own data places the Q50 well below comparable BMW 3 Series and Audi A for ownership costs over the same stretch. German rivals charging premium money for a fraction of the dependability. The naturally aspirated 3.7-liter V6 in earlier trims carries a particularly devoted following among owners specifically avoiding the newer turbocharged variant, trading a little performance for a lot of peace of mind. Clean examples remain widely available and laughably underpriced relative to their German competitors. Infiniti never built the brand recognition Lexus or Acura achieved. The mechanical bones underneath deserved considerably better treatment from car shoppers than they ever actually got, but sharing a sports car's engine is impressive. The next car proves even BMW occasionally got something genuinely right. Number 10, BMW E46 3 Series, 1999 to 2006. When BMW finally builds something that doesn't bankrupt owners after year 5, it deserves recognition. And the E46 generation is exactly that anomaly, a BMW that apparently genuinely forgot to be complicated, which is the automotive equivalent of a cat forgetting how to be aloof for once. This is the last 3 Series built before run-flat tires, maintenance-intensive turbocharging, and electronics dense enough to require an actual computer science degree just to diagnose properly. The naturally aspirated M54 and M52 inline-6 engines document documented genuinely crossing 200,000 to 300,000 miles, provided owners address the platform's one well-known weakness proactively: plastic coolant components, specifically the water pump impeller and expansion tank, which fail predictably enough that fixing them around 80,000 to 100,000 miles essentially and permanently eliminates the entire problem from ever resurfacing again. Compare that single known fix to modern BMWs, currently averaging $968 a year in repairs according to RepairPal, a number that genuinely makes the E46 look almost like a completely different manufacturer's product entirely. The E46 rewards owners willing to do their homework with a genuinely durable sports sedan that actually drives the exact way BMW's own marketing department has always claimed every single BMW drives. Clean manual examples remain available through enthusiast forums, increasingly treated today as the last truly honest 3 Series BMW ever built, before the complexity arms race genuinely began. But even BMW's one genuinely good generation gets matched by a Mercedes diesel built for people who simply wanted an engine, not an image. Number 9. Mercedes-Benz E300 W210 Diesel 1996 to 1999. Mercedes never marketed the OM606 equipped E300 as anything glamorous, and that restraint is exactly why it became one of the most quietly respected engines the company ever built. Almost as if Mercedes accidentally let actual engineers run the project instead of the marketing department for once. This naturally aspirated and turbocharged inline-six diesel earned a reputation among specialists for extraordinary durability and dependability, the kind of phrase mechanics only ever use about engines that genuinely never give them a single reason to say otherwise. The iron block construction and meticulously engineered cooling system let the OM606 shrug off conditions that would destroy lighter, more efficient modern diesels within a fraction of the distance covered. Documented examples have genuinely crossed 500,000 miles without ever once requiring a rebuild. And the same architecture later powered Mercedes Sprinter vans that routinely exceed 300,000 miles in demanding commercial European fleet work, the automotive equivalent of drafting an offensive lineman into a marathon and watching it finish first. The turbocharged variant carries so much structural margin that tuners have pushed modified examples past 500 horsepower on factory internals, which says everything about how much real engineering headroom Mercedes actually built in long before anyone ever bothered marketing it properly. Clean European market examples today remain genuinely underpriced relative to the actual durability quietly backing them up the whole time. But even Mercedes' single most respected diesel gets matched by a Korean brand that simply asked better questions than the Germans ever bothered asking. Number 8. Genesis G80 2017 to present. Genesis looked at German brands charging premium money for luxury cars that needed 5-figure repair bills within a decade and apparently thought we can build this better and genuinely not even have to try that hard doing it. The G80 emerged as uncontested among Genesis models for reliability, carrying the longest documented track record in the entire lineup, going back well over a decade of consistent quality scores, a track record German engineers reportedly study with the enthusiasm of someone reading a bad performance review. J.D. Power rated the G80 at an average of 85 out of 100 across 10 years. Exceptional, not flawless, but exceptional enough that German engineers reading the comparison probably stopped enjoying their coffee. RepairPal independently ranks Genesis 7th out of 30 luxury full-size brands, with the probability of a severe repair sitting at just 7% compared to a 13% average across every brand the company tracks. Genesis backs that with genuinely aggressive ownership economics. Complimentary, scheduled maintenance during the warranty period, and a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty that signals genuine manufacturer confidence rather than carefully written marketing language merely designed to sound confident. The actual maintenance schedule reads almost insultingly simple compared to every German alternative on the market. No $500 air filter changes. No $800 fluid flushes, quietly hiding somewhere deep in the fine print. But Genesis's genuinely strong debut still can't match what Lexus proved decades earlier with a sedan nicknamed after the single least exciting car in America. Number 7. Lexus ES 350, 2007 to present. Toyota's luxury division built the ES to prove luxury could exist without drama, and accidentally created a sedan so unkillable that enthusiasts nicknamed it the luxury Camry that lasts forever. That's not an insult disguised as a compliment, it's the entire engineering philosophy summarized in 5 words, and RepairPal backs it with average annual repair costs of just $468, lower than most mainstream sedans entirely, which should genuinely embarrass an entire industry built on convincing people maintenance has to hurt. The 2GR-FK SV6 under the hood shares fundamental architecture with proven Toyota platforms, and documented owners have routinely crossed 200,000 to 300,000 miles with nothing beyond simple scheduled maintenance. There's no asterisk hiding anywhere in the fine print, no notorious failure point lurking at a specific mileage, no air suspension clock quietly counting down toward an expensive surprise, the way it inevitably does on nearly every German competitor sitting at this exact price point. Lexus ranks 7th out of 32 tracked brands for overall reliability, earning a solid 4.0 out of 5.0 rating, with notably fewer severe repairs than nearly every single European luxury competitor measured directly against it. Post-warranty ES ownership feels less like genuine risk management and more like discovering the one single car nobody ever warned you would actually be this boring to maintain. But Lexus's sedan reliability gets matched and arguably even exceeded by an SUV built directly on a platform designed specifically to survive actual desserts. Number 6, Lexus GX46, 2010 to present. The GX460 shares its fundamental architecture directly with the Toyota Land Cruiser, and owners across automotive forums have settled on one recurring description for exactly why that matters: built like a tank. That's not casual enthusiasm, it's the direct consequence of body-on-frame construction surviving in a market obsessed with lighter, more fragile crossovers, chasing fuel economy numbers nobody actually cares about after the first oil change. The kind of design philosophy modern marketing departments would call outdated, right up until something breaks. Owners routinely report the GX reaching 250,000 miles or genuinely more, citing predictable maintenance schedules and a near-total absence of unexpected breakdowns across that entire span of ownership. The 4.6-liter V8 operates well within its actual stress capacity in everyday driving, a deliberate choice that trades modern efficiency numbers for the kind of mechanical margin German luxury SUVs abandoned chasing years ago in favor of younger, screen-obsessed buyers instead. That kind of durability appeals specifically to people who genuinely value off-road capability and long-term mechanical simplicity over the latest dashboard touchscreen entirely. Clean examples today remain genuinely available through Lexus dealers and Toyota-adjacent specialist importers alike, with resale values holding remarkably steady precisely because so few actual owners ever feel pressured to sell theirs at all. But the GX's tank-like reputation still gets matched by an even older Lexus, built directly on the single most legendary off-road platform on the entire planet. Number 5, Lexus LX450, LX470, 1996 to 2007. Toyota's Land Cruiser earned its global reputation surviving deserts, war zones, and humanitarian operations through pure mechanical stubbornness. The LX450 and the LX47, that followed it, simply took that exact architecture and added leather and a Lexus badge without weakening the underlying formula even slightly, which is the automotive equivalent of putting a tuxedo on a tank and calling it a gala, and somehow nobody at Lexus thought that was a strange business plan at the time. One automotive journalist who bought a 2002 LX47 zero sight unseen with 260,000 miles already on the odometer described the immediate reaction from Land Cruiser enthusiasts the moment he mentioned the purchase publicly. Dude, that thing is unkillable. Keep it. Love it. Documented examples have genuinely, routinely exceeded 300,000 miles with proper care. The naturally aspirated V8 quietly operating at a fraction of its intended load when applied to American highway commutes, rather than the actual deserts and mountains it was engineered to survive. The honest caveat, air suspension and occasional starter motor issues, represent the platform's actual weak points, while the core engine and transmission remain, by nearly universal specialist agreement, genuinely and consistently bulletproof. Clean examples today command genuine premiums from buyers who specifically understand the Land Cruiser cruiser DNA hiding underneath the badge. But even a Land Cruiser-based SUV like this one gets matched by the single sedan most frequently described as the most durable luxury car ever genuinely built. Number 4. Mercedes-Benz W126 S-Class 1979 to 1991. Mercedes-Benz built the W126 during an era when the company apparently forgot profit margins were supposed to matter at all. Engineers used roughly twice the steel structurally necessary in critical areas, with doors closing on a genuine bank vault thunk that made every single competing luxury sedan sound hollow by direct comparison. The kind of over-engineering modern accountants would veto in a single meeting, possibly while quietly crying about it in a corner afterward. That obsession extended completely through the drivetrain. Engines were built with tolerances tight enough to require dedicated clean room assembly, running at internal stress levels far, far below what the hardware could actually handle across a completely normal service life. Well-maintained examples regularly appear today as genuine high-end taxis throughout developing nations, frequently exceeding 600,000 miles on completely original drivetrains that simply never received the memo that luxury sedans genuinely aren't supposed to survive quite that long at all. Mercedes reportedly lost real money on every single unit sold, having genuinely confused running a profitable business with building something that outlived everyone who'd ever approved the original engineering budget. That specific kind of corporate irrationality essentially never happens anymore in the modern luxury segment, which is exactly why surviving examples have become so quietly treasured by people who genuinely understand what they actually represent. But even Mercedes' single most overbuilt sedan gets matched by an American legend that simply refused to retire from livery fleets entirely. Number 3. Lincoln Town Car, 1990 to 2011. Livery companies across America didn't choose the Town Car for prestige. They chose it because the body-on-frame construction and deliberately understressed 4.6-liter V8 could survive a working life most sedans never attempt. Hundreds of thousands of miles, decades of airport runs, downtime treated as a direct loss of income rather than a minor inconvenience. Nobody minds. The kind of math that makes prestige feel like a luxury nobody in that industry could actually afford to care about. That commercial-grade durability translated directly into private ownership, too. Documented examples regularly cross over 300,000 miles in livery service alone, sharing the same mechanical platform underlying the Crown Victoria's legendary police fleet reputation, simply wrapped in considerably more padded luxury trim. Owners consistently report the air suspension and electrical systems as the platform's actual weak points, while the drivetrain itself remains remarkably unbothered by the kind of mileage that would retire most luxury sedans twice over without complaint. Lincoln ended production in 2011, and the livery industry that depended on it has spent over a decade since searching for a genuine replacement that matches its exact combination of low cost, real comfort, and sheer mechanical stamina. So far, without much luck. Retired livery examples today remain genuinely available through fleet auction sites, frequently underpriced relative to their documented remaining mechanical life. But even a livery legend gets matched by the single sedan this entire list has been quietly building toward. Number 2. Lexus LS430 2000 to 2006. Industry sources and longtime owners alike routinely describe the LS430 using nearly identical language, one of the most durable luxury sedans ever built. That reputation didn't emerge from marketing copy. It emerged from over a decade of accumulated ownership data showing remarkably few examples ever requiring major mechanical intervention at any meaningful mileage point, a track record so consistent that specialist mechanics reportedly get a little bored servicing them. The 3UZ-FEV8 continued the philosophy Toyota established with the original LS400 a decade earlier. Refine every component obsessively, then deliberately understress the entire drivetrain relative to what it's actually capable of handling. That genuinely conservative approach explains exactly why LS430 examples regularly cross 200,000 miles with nothing beyond scheduled maintenance, and why specialist mechanics routinely describe internal wear patterns that look closer to a car with half the accumulated mileage on the odometer. Unlike the LS460 that eventually replaced it, the LS430 predates the heaviest layer of complex electronics and touchscreen-dependent systems, introducing additional failure points into later luxury sedans. That relative simplicity is precisely why this generation, rather than its flashier successor, earns the strongest reputation among buyers who actually understand what long-term durability requires. Clean, well-documented examples remain genuinely available through Lexus specialist channels, frequently undervalued relative to the actual data quietly supporting. But there's one more car on this list, and it never even wore a luxury badge in the first place. Number 1, Toyota Avalon, 1995 to 2022. Here's the twist absolutely nobody on this list saw coming. The single best argument for warranty-proof luxury reliability never actually carried a luxury badge at all, not once, across its entire 27-year production run, which is either the funniest plot twist in this entire countdown or genuinely the most honest one anyone's offered. One forum poster asked to recommend a reliable large sedan under $22,000, skipped past Mercedes, Lexus, and Infiniti entirely and landed on something far simpler. They are sort of the best kept secret of the full-size car segment. They are basically a Lexus sedan with Toyota badging. Toyota reliability, basically a Japanese Buick. Repair Pal backs that specific recommendation precisely, ranking the Avalon number 1 out of 13 full-size cars with a 4.5 out of 5.0 reliability rating and an average annual ownership cost of just $460, genuinely lower than nearly every other entry on this entire list, luxury badge or otherwise included. J.D. Power independently places the Avalon above average for genuine long-term dependability, and documented examples have routinely crossed 300,000 kilometers with nothing beyond simple, routine servicing. The proven V6 underneath never once asking for anything more complicated than oil changes performed precisely on schedule. The Avalon never even tried competing on prestige, and somehow that's exactly why it quietly outlasted every single prestigious competitor on this entire list at a fraction of the actual cost, for buyers finally willing to admit the badge itself never actually mattered nearly as much as they always thought it genuinely did. That's your countdown of 12 luxury cars that quietly become bargains once the warranty stops mattering. Which one shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts below. I'd bet most of you didn't expect that Avalon fact. Hit subscribe for more luxury car secrets, and remember, sometimes the smartest money buys the car everyone else already gave up on.